What's up guys, my name's Brandon and iOS 14.5 Beta 2 has been out for about 2 weeks now, and before we get Beta 3 next week, I wanted to give you guys another follow-up review on the second beta, let you know how it's been running in terms of the performance, the battery life, and things like that over the past week or so, and I also wanted to show you guys even more new features in this massive update. It's really turned out to be a much bigger update than we even anticipated. But anyways, as you guys saw in my video on Thursday, Apple did also release a new version of macOS Big Sur, version 11.2.2, but that was it. No other software was released by Apple the entire week, which is why we can expect to see new beta updates resuming next week. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about how the second beta has been treating me since my previous follow-up review video on beta 2, which if you guys didn't see that, I did release that first follow-up last weekend. I talked about a lot of new features in that update as well, but we have even more here in this video as far as new features in iOS 14.5 Beta 1 and Beta 2. So some of these I cannot confirm if they were in Beta 1. I know that I did not cover them though. And the first one has to do with a new description in the Find My application when an exact location is unknown. So I got this image from somebody over on Reddit, and you can see here, we get this circle when the location is unknown. That is nothing new. That's been showing up there forever. However, this little part is new right here. So you can see there it says inaccurate location. We have the icon right there. Blank, whoever's name is somewhere in the circle. So that is new in iOS 14.5. It's always had that circle when it can't locate, but it never gave you this description right here. So that is new and something that I did not notice myself, but I did see online. Now, one thing that I did notice, and this just happened the other day, is that when I unlocked my Apple Watch with my iPhone, I noticed that we have this new little drop-down menu right here, this new little pop-up that shows Brandon's Apple Watch unlocked. Now, what's interesting is that some people are actually seeing a different little pop-up right there. So some people have where it shows an Apple logo right beside unlocked. So this whole pop-up has changed, and it seems like Apple is really playing around with different pop-ups for this. So we'll have to see if that changes again in Beta 3, but that is new here in 14.5. Now, another new feature in 14.5 Beta 2 is the orientation lock action here inside of shortcuts. I talked about this in my previous follow-up update on 14.5 Beta 2. However, I kind of just said that, we have the orientation lock action inside of shortcuts now, and that was kind of it. However, since then, I've actually been using it on my main device pretty much every day when I watch YouTube videos. So if you have this set up right here, and then you go into your settings and then into accessibility and down to back tap, you can of course set this to be a shortcut. So if you make a shortcut with just that, you can actually go into a YouTube video now, and like when it's playing, of course, when you turn it, if you have orientation lock turned on, it won't turn, but if you just double tap on the back of your phone, now all of a sudden when you turn your phone, it will go like this and into full screen. It's actually more useful than I thought it would be, and I've actually really been enjoying that. So that is one way that I'm using this new feature here in 14.5. I thought I'd just share that because using it with BackTap just makes it much easier. Now, another one of the new features in iPadOS 14.5, and this was in Beta 1 as well. However, it didn't work for me every time, but that new feature is that the boot logo actually now matches whatever orientation your iPad is in. So if I had it standing up, it would show the Apple logo in portrait mode, but if I had it, like on the side like this, it would show it in landscape. So you can see I'm in landscape mode. I'm gonna go ahead and boot the iPad up, and you will see that we get the Apple logo in that landscape mode. As you can see right there, it does not have to be in any type of case or anything like that, and it shows up like that. So that is new in 14.5 because before it would have that Apple logo always in portrait mode. And that's pretty much everything for the other new features here in 14.5 Beta 2. But I just have to point out once again how much I've been absolutely loving the swipe gestures here inside of the music application. I feel like I'm going to be sounding like a broken record, but I mean, man, these actions just make everything feel so much smoother. And when you tap things and when you add it to a playlist, everything is so much faster and more fluid here in 14.5. And the more I use this, the more I notice it. I just love the direction that Apple is going with the music application. I don't care that they're basically copying Spotify and catching up to Spotify. That's fine with me. I don't care. I mean, they're bringing these great features to Apple Music, and I am definitely here for it. So anyways, those are just a few additional new features and changes here in 14.5 Beta 2. I already covered a ton of them in 2 videos before this one, so I'm sure that we'll see a lot more new features in Beta 3 and maybe even Beta 4 as well. But anyways, it's not perfect. I do also want to talk about some bugs that I've encountered while using this beta as well. Now, I have been using this on multiple devices. My iPhone 12 Pro right here, my daily device. I've been using it on the iPhone 12. I've been using it on my iPad Pro 2020, and I've also been using it on the iPhone XR. And it's strange because I don't have every bug that I have on iOS on iPadOS. So it seems like for whatever reason, iPadOS has been a little bit more stable. But the first thing I wanted to talk about was that the music recognition toggle inside of the control center has not been super accurate for me here in Beta 2, and sometimes it just completely fails. Like it listens for like 1 second and it just says that it could not find the song, or it could not hear any song being played. So obviously if I tap it right now, it will work, but nothing is playing, so it can't really, tell. But sometimes, this was on my iPhone 12 Pro, when I would tap that, it would just kind of give up after like 3 seconds and say it could not hear a song, which is really interesting. I never had that bug on Beta 1, so that's what it would say. It would say no result after like 3 seconds, but it's working fine here on the iPhone 12 for some reason, but it just happened sometimes with the music recognition toggle. Now, another bug I noticed in 14.5 Beta 2 is that the app library over here, when you go to recently added, it would not show the applications that you literally just downloaded. This happened like every time I downloaded a new app on my iPhone 12 Pro, I would go over to my app library because I don't have them show up on my home screen at first. They just go straight to the app library. So I would go to the recently added folder right here, and the applications would never be in the recently added folder. So I feel like that's a bug because I was always able to go there on previous versions of iOS 14. So hopefully Apple sorts the app library out. The watch application has also been extremely slow in 14.5 Beta 2, and it just sometimes would not even connect to my Apple Watch. That was really strange. Of course, that happened on my iPhone 12 Pro where I have my Apple Watch paired to. That was interesting. I never had that before. And then also, I have not had this one, but a lot of people have reported that when you go over to the widgets from the home screen right here, they would just simply all disappear. So when you would like swipe left over here, they would just disappear, and then you'd be able to go back to your home screen. Sometimes when you swipe back, they'd appear again, but some people have reported that these widgets just all disappear. That has not happened to me, but if it's happened to you, let me know in a comment down below. And then the final bug that I noticed after seeing people talk about it is that the music EQ doesn't do anything here in 14.5 Beta 2. So if you go into your music settings and then go to EQ, if you set something like the bass booster, it makes no difference in your music for whatever reason. So that is a bug here in Beta 2, and I'm sure that will be fixed in the next beta because that is a very simple fix, I'm sure. And then we also have not seen any fixes for the bugs that I talk about in pretty much every video. The green tint bug, we still don't have a fix for that. The loud notifications, we still don't have a fix for that. And of course, other people just have basic stutter and things like that, and we don't have a definitive, answer to that. We don't have an actual fix for that. The Apple has come out and said that they fixed the stutter. So I've not had any stutter. The performance overall on all devices that I've used has actually been excellent. I mean, it's pretty much the same experience as discussed in my 1 week later follow-up last weekend. I don't really have anything different to say other than what I said last weekend, but I'll just go ahead and reiterate it. I really don't have any issues. I mean, I've not had one lockup. I've not had one random reboot. I've had nothing but great experiences on all phones and iPads on iOS and iPadOS 14.5 Beta 2. So really no complaints. Definitely much, much better than Beta 1 in my experience. So hopefully Beta 3 just makes that even better. Now, when it comes to battery life once again is just decent. It's really not near as good as 14.4 in my opinion. It is a little bit better than Beta 1, but still not the greatest. I still can't get through an entire day like I could on 14.4 and pretty much even, beta versions before 14.5. So the battery life is definitely not impressive here on 14.5 Beta 2 on any device. It's a little bit better. It's the best. If I had to say one device it's best on, it is the iPad on iPadOS 14.5 Beta 2, but still nothing to write home about and definitely not the greatest battery life here in beta 2. I did also want to revisit the community tab poll right here where I asked about how beta 2 has been running for you. So we do have a lot more votes now, not a lot more, but we do have more votes than in my previous follow-up video. So we still have 15% for excellent, which is great news. And we have a lot of comments here. So if we go to the newest first, we can check out some of the other comments here of people, what they had to say about 14.5 beta 2. So Joe here says that some applications are shutting down after the upgrade. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe some crashes from other applications. We have seen that in the first couple of betas. I have an annoying bug with WhatsApp where I can't play some voice messages. So I've also heard of some bugs with WhatsApp related to Siri. So I'm not sure if you're having that as well, but it seems like there are some bugs with WhatsApp and this 14.5 beta update. Green tint issue, as you can see right there. Somebody has an iPhone 8 Plus and they missed their bus today. So that is a great bug there. Thank you for pointing that out. Aaron here with his 12 Pro Max says he has no issues whatsoever. Battery life is about the same as beta 1. Having watch unlock with a mask is a blessing though. So yeah, I agree. The unlock with the mask, I do that all the time, and it's actually much more accurate here in beta 2 than it was in beta 1. So definitely no complaints there, and I love that feature. I can't wait for that to roll out to the masses because a lot of people will really enjoy that feature. Jan here is having issues with calls, so no matter who calls or over what platform, WhatsApp or normal call, I cannot hear them unless I recall them. So that is interesting. I would not think that's software related. Maybe it has something to do with your SIM card or something else. I'm not too sure, but that's a very interesting bug. I've not had that one before. Emily here is having issues with Bluetooth with videos or calls. Sometimes it silences for a couple of minutes. That's pretty interesting. I'm not too sure if that's lag or just kind of like interference or something like that. Windows on Windows says I have a shortcut to set a wallpaper automatically, which refuses to work since this update. So interesting because mine works every day. So every morning at sunrise, my wallpaper changes automatically and I've not had one issue with that. So not sure what's going on there. There's another issue with WhatsApp, so I hope that it's, maybe a WhatsApp issue and not an iOS issue, which is very possible. So hopefully we see an update for WhatsApp. That was 5 days ago, so hopefully there has been an update since then to fix up some of these bugs. And then the final one I wanted to talk about here is somebody having issues with Face ID. It says it won't even recognize my face anymore, and I have the 12 Pro Max on 14.5 beta. So I've not had that, but I have seen multiple people talk about how Face ID has been messing up and just not recognizing them as easily in this beta. So what I would do is honestly just go in and rescan your face, in your settings, Face ID. It is annoying, but you signed up for a beta, you're gonna have bugs. So I would just go ahead and make a new scan of your face and it should be, perfectly fine after that. So now let's talk about what's next. So iOS 14.5 beta 3. So as you can see here, we're about to enter into March of 2021. Man, time is flying, but we're about to enter into March and that's when I would expect to see 14.5 beta 3. So apparently we were still on a 2-week cycle from beta 2 to beta 3. So I would expect, of course, beta 3 on the week of the 1st. We would probably most likely get it on the 2nd or the 3rd, but any day on the week of the 1st is possible with Apple these days. And then after that, I would expect Apple to switch over to a 1-week cycle after beta 3. So if everything goes as planned, we should get beta 4 on the week of the 8th right there. And then we should get 14.5 released to the public in mid to late March. So either the week of the 15th, the week of the 22nd, or at the latest, probably the week of the 29th. It really all depends on what Apple does with beta 3 and beta 4. So I will let you guys know. I will, of course, keep you guys up to date over on Twitter and the Discord server, and of course here on YouTube as well. So that's why you guys need to make sure you are subscribed to the channel with that bell icon clicked. And of course, make sure you are following me over on Twitter and you're part of the Discord server. You never know which one you're going to see first. And that's how you can stay as up to date as possible. But anyways, I just want to give you guys another quick follow-up update review on 14.5 beta 2. You guys really like when I do these follow-ups, even when I do 2 of them. I know it sometimes could get a little bit repetitive, but I continuously find new things and have new bugs to report on and things like that. So I feel like, I would be doing you guys a disservice if I didn't talk about it and just waited, a couple of weeks to talk about it. So that's where my head's at. Hope you guys enjoy these. And yeah, if you do, I would appreciate if you give it a thumbs up and left me a comment down below with your thoughts and of course how 14.5 beta 2 has been running for you. But yeah, guys, thanks again for watching and I'll see you soon.